I, 31F, inherited my late mother's lake house 6 months ago. My husband's family has been pressuring me to share it with them, but I've been firm about keeping it private during my grief. Last week, I found out they did something behind my back that made me see red. Now the entire family is calling me cruel and selfish, and my husband says I'm being unreasonable. Am I really the villain here? I discovered my mother-in-law had printed 150 invitations to a family reunion at my lake house, and I found out because a cousin I barely know texted to thank me for hosting. I'm 31 years old, and 6 months ago, I lost my mom to cancer. It was a long, brutal fight, 18 months from diagnosis to the end. I was her primary caretaker. I was there for every chemo session, every hospital stay, every 3 a.m. panic attack when she couldn't breathe properly. I held her hand when she died. She left me her lake house in her will. Just to me. Not to my brother, not split between us, just me. The house had been her sanctuary, the place she'd bought after my dad died 10 years ago, where she'd finally found peace. She'd told me 100 times, "This is yours someday. Fill it with love and happiness. Make new memories." I hadn't been able to go back since the funeral. The house sat empty, 3 hours north of where I lived with my husband, Derek, in the city. I paid the utilities. I had a neighbor check on it weekly, but I couldn't bring myself to visit. Every time I thought about driving up there, I'd remember sitting on the dock with Mom last summer, watching the sunset, her telling me about all the renovations she wanted to do, all the dreams she'd never get to fulfill. The grief was still too raw, too heavy, too close to the surface. Derek understood. Or at least I thought he did. He'd hold me when I cried, tell me to take my time, remind me that healing wasn't linear. His family, on the other hand, had been a different story from day one. The Parker family was big. Like really big. Derek had 4 siblings, and between them they'd produced 11 children. Add in aunts, uncles, cousins, and the extended network, and family gatherings regularly hit 50-plus people. They were loud, chaotic, and overwhelming in a way my small, quiet family had never been. They also had opinions about everything, especially about things that weren't their business. 2 weeks after Mom's funeral, my mother-in-law, Patricia, had cornered me at Sunday dinner. "So," she'd said, refilling my wine glass without asking, "what are you going to do with Linda's house?" "I don't know yet," I'd said, my throat tight just thinking about it. "Well, it seems like such a waste for it to just sit there empty. It's a big house, isn't it? 4 bedrooms. 5. My goodness. You know, we've been looking for a place to hold our family reunion this summer. We usually rent somewhere, but it's gotten so expensive. If you're not using the house." She'd trailed off, looking at me expectantly. "I'm not ready to have people there yet," I'd said carefully. "Oh, honey, I understand. But wouldn't your mother want the house to be used? To be filled with family and laughter? I'm sure she wouldn't want it sitting there like a mausoleum." The word mausoleum had hit me like a slap. I'd excused myself to the bathroom and cried for 20 minutes. Derek had found me there. "She didn't mean anything by it," he'd said. "You know how Mom is. She just doesn't have a filter. She called my mom's house a mausoleum. She's just trying to help. She thinks keeping you away from the house is making your grief worse. She doesn't get to decide that." "I know. I'll talk to her." But the subject didn't go away. It came up again at Easter, when Derek's sister Melissa mentioned how lucky I was to have inherited such a valuable property. At a birthday party for one of the kids, when Patricia suggested I could rent it out on Airbnb to offset costs. At every single family gathering, someone had something to say about the lake house. I'd stayed firm. The house was off limits. I wasn't ready. Maybe next year. Maybe never. It was my decision to make. Derek backed me up in public, but in private, I could feel his frustration growing. "They're not trying to hurt you," he'd say. "They just want to feel included. You're part of this family now." "It's my mother's house." "I know. But it's been 6 months. At some point, you have to move forward." 6 months. Like there was an expiration date on grief. Like I was supposed to just get over losing the woman who raised me because a calendar page had turned. Last Monday started like any other day. I was working from home, halfway through a Zoom meeting with a client, when my phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, just got the invitation to the reunion at the lake house. So excited. Haven't been to a Parker gathering in forever. Thanks so much for hosting. Smiling face with smiling eyes. I stared at the message, my brain struggling to process the words. Invitation? Reunion? What? I quickly muted myself on the Zoom call and typed back, I think you might have the wrong number. What invitation? For the Parker family reunion in July? At your lake house? Patricia sent out the invites last week. My hands went numb. I excused myself from the meeting, something about a family emergency, which wasn't even a lie, and immediately called Derek. Did you know about this? Asked the second he picked up. Know about what? Your mother sent out invitations for a family reunion at my lake house. Silence. Long enough that I knew he'd known something. Derek. She mentioned she was thinking about it. Thinking about it? She sent out invitations. Actual, physical invitations. Without asking me. Okay, let's just calm down. Do not tell me to calm down. Did you know she was planning this? She asked me if I thought you'd be okay with it. And what did you say? More silence. You said yes. I whispered. You told her I'd be okay with it. I said I thought you might be ready to start making new memories there. That's not the same as. I hung up. I drove to Patricia's house. I don't even remember getting in the car or taking the highway. I just remember standing on her porch, ringing the doorbell with shaking hands. She opened the door with a smile. Oh, what a lovely surprise. Come in, I just made. You sent out invitations for a reunion at my house. Her smile faltered, but didn't disappear. Yes. I was going to tell you this weekend at dinner. I wanted it to be a surprise. A surprise. To help you move forward. Derek said you've been having such a hard time, and I thought bringing the family together at the lake house might help you see it as a place of joy again instead of sadness. We're going to fill it with love and laughter, just like I'm sure your mother would have wanted. I felt something crack inside my chest. How many invitations did you send? Well, the whole family, of course. And some of the extended cousins who usually can't make it to our gatherings. About 150 people, I think. It's going to be wonderful. We're planning a pig roast, and Melissa is organizing games for the kids. And cancel it. Patricia blinked. What? Cancel it. Right now. Call everyone. Tell them it was a mistake. Honey, I know change is hard, but you do not have permission to use my house. You never asked me. You do not get to make decisions about my mother's property. Cancel it. Now. Her expression hardened. I watched the warm, concerned mother-in-law mask slip away, revealing something colder underneath. I think you're being incredibly selfish, she said. That house is too big for one person. It's going to waste. Your mother is gone. God rest her soul. But life goes on. You can't expect the world to stop spinning because you're sad. Get out, I said quietly. This is my house. Then I'll leave. But if you don't cancel that reunion, I will call every single person on that invite list and tell them exactly what you did. I will post on every family group chat. I will make sure everyone knows you planned this behind my back, without permission, using my dead mother's house as your personal event venue. You wouldn't dare. Try me? I left. By the time I got home, my phone was exploding. Derek had clearly told his family about our conversation, and they'd mobilized. Melissa, Mom is devastated. How could you embarrass her like that? She was trying to do something nice. Derek's brother Tom. This is really immature. It's just a house. Family is more important. His youngest sister Amy. I already told my kids about the reunion. Now I have to explain why Aunt My Name doesn't want them at her house. Thanks for that. Derek's Aunt Susan, who I'd met maybe twice. Your mother would be ashamed of your selfishness. That last one made me throw my phone across the room. When Derek got home that evening, I was sitting in the dark in our living room. We need to talk, he said. Yes, we do. He sat down across from me. In the dim light from the street lamp outside, he looked tired, worn down. My mom shouldn't have sent the invitations without asking you, he started. I'll admit that. But you didn't have to humiliate her. You could have just talked to her privately. I did talk to her privately. I went to her house. You threatened her. I told her the consequences of her actions. That's not a threat. That's reality. My whole family thinks you're being cruel. Your whole family thinks they're entitled to my property. It's not about the property. Derek snapped. It's about you shutting everyone out. You won't talk about your mom. You won't visit the house. You won't let anyone help you. You're drowning, and you won't let anyone throw you a life preserver. Maybe I need to drown for a while. I shouted back. Maybe I need to sit in my grief and feel it instead of pretending everything's fine, because it makes everyone else more comfortable. It's been 6 months. Stop saying that like it means something. Like there's a timer on grief. Like I'm supposed to be done, because you decided 6 months is long enough. That's not what Your mother called my mother's house a mausoleum. She used my dead mother as an excuse to throw a party. She sent out 150 invitations without asking me, knowing I wasn't ready, and you. My voice broke. You let her. You told her it was okay. I thought it might help. You don't get to make that decision. We stared at each other across the dark room. So what now? Derek asked quietly. Now you tell your mother to cancel the reunion. You call everyone who received an invitation and you explain that there was a mistake, that she didn't have permission to use the house, and that the event is not happening. And if I don't? The question hung in the air between us, heavy and sharp. Then I'll know exactly where your priorities are, I said. Derek didn't cancel it. He spent the next 2 days trying to convince me to compromise. Maybe we could have just the immediate family up there. Maybe just for a day trip instead of the whole weekend they'd planned. Maybe I could just let this one thing go, and we'd never ask again. Every variation felt like a trap. On Wednesday evening, I was lying on the couch scrolling through my phone when I found the Facebook event page. Parker Family Lake House Reunion, July 15th to 17th. There was a photo of my mother's house as the banner image. Someone, probably Patricia, had pulled it from the real estate listing from when Mom had bought it. The description read, "Join us for a weekend of family, fun, and celebration at the beautiful Parker Lake House. Swimming, boating, games for kids, pig roast on Saturday night. Can't wait to see everyone. Red heart." The Parker Lake House. Like it belonged to them. Like my mother had never existed. I took screenshots of everything. The event page, the invitation image Patricia had posted, the enthusiastic comments from family members talking about what they'd bring, which kids would sleep in which rooms, how they'd organize the boat schedule for water skiing. Then I opened my laptop and started typing. I posted in every Parker family group chat. Facebook, WhatsApp, the family email chain. Everywhere. Hi everyone. I want to clarify something about the reunion that's been planned at my late mother's lake house. I did not give permission for this event. I was not asked. I was not consulted. The invitations were sent out behind my back by someone who decided my grief had an expiration date and that my mother's property was communal family space. This reunion is not happening. Anyone who shows up at the property will be considered trespassing. I have already informed the local police and the neighbors. My mother's house is not the Parker Lake House. It's Linda, last name, S. house, which she left to me. It's where she spent her final years finding peace after my father died. It's where we scattered her ashes off the dock last month. It's sacred ground to me, and it's not available for parties. I'm sorry to those of you who already made plans. I'm sorry to the kids who are disappointed. But I'm not sorry for protecting my mother's memory and my own grief process. This is not negotiable. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. My phone started ringing within seconds. I turned it off. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. By the next morning, I had 47 missed calls, 89 text messages, and countless social media notifications. I ignored all of it. Derek came home from work that evening looking like he'd aged 5 years. "My entire family is furious," he said. "Good. My mom is crying. She says you've humiliated her in front of everyone. She humiliated herself when she decided to plan a party at someone else's property without permission. You made us all look like villains." "No, Derek. You made yourselves look like villains. I just told the truth. He sank onto the couch. Some of the family members are saying you've always been standoffish, that you've never really tried to integrate into the family, that this is just proof you think you're better than us. Let them say whatever they want. Don't you care what they think of you? I looked at my husband, really looked at him, and saw someone I wasn't sure I recognized anymore. No, I said honestly. I don't. Because they've shown me that they don't care about me. They care about what I have. They care about using my trauma and my property for their convenience. So no, Derek, I don't care what they think of me. They're my family, and my mother was mine. And she's dead. And instead of respecting that, your family tried to turn her house into their vacation resort. Derek was quiet for a long time. Where do we go from here? He finally asked. I don't know, I said. But I know that if you can't see why what your mother did was wrong, if you can't prioritize my grief over your family's party plans, then we have bigger problems than a canceled reunion. The real twist came 3 days later. I'd driven up to the lake house for the first time since Mom died. I needed to see it, to be there, to reclaim it from the phantom event that had almost happened. The house was exactly as Mom had left it. Her reading glasses still on the side table, her favorite mug in the dish drainer, her gardening gloves on the porch railing. I sat on the dock and cried until I had no tears left. Then my phone buzzed. I'd turned it back on that morning, ready to face whatever came next. It was a message from Derek's cousin Rachel, who I'd always liked. She was the quiet one in the family, the one who observed more than she participated. I need to tell you something, her message read. Can I call you? I called her instead. Hey, she said when she picked up. Thanks for answering. I know you're probably sick of the Parker family right now. What did you want to tell me? This is going to sound bad, but Patricia has been planning this reunion for 3 months. Since March. I know because she asked me to help design the invitations back then. My blood went cold. March? My mom died in February. I know. I asked her if she'd talked to you about it, and she said, Rachel paused. She said you'd never agree, so she wasn't going to ask. She said once everyone showed up, you'd have to go along with it or look like the bad guy for kicking everyone out. I couldn't breathe. She told everyone in the family planning group that you were being difficult about sharing the house and that we needed to just make it happen to force you to move forward. She said your grief was becoming manipulative and that you were using it to isolate Derek from his family. She said that. Yes. And most of the family agreed with her. They've been planning this whole thing behind your back, assuming you'd either give in or be too polite to cause a scene once everyone arrived. Do you have proof of this? I have screenshots of the planning group chat. All of it. I can send them to you if you want. I'm in that chat because I'm helping with the reunion planning, but I've been uncomfortable with this whole thing from the start. What Patricia did isn't okay. Send me everything, I said. Rachel sent 47 screenshots. I sat on the dock reading through them, my hands shaking. Messages from Patricia. She'll come around once everyone's there. She won't want to disappoint the kids. From Melissa, if she really cared about Derek, she'd let us use the house. It's not like her mom needs it anymore. From Tom, worst case, Derek has ownership rights through marriage, right? Can't he just overrule her? From Derek's Aunt Susan, some people need a firm hand. Coddling her grief is just making it worse. This reunion will be good for her, whether she realizes it or not. And then, most damning of all, from Derek himself. I'll handle my wife. Don't worry about her. Just keep planning. That message was dated 2 weeks before the invitations went out. I sat on the dock until sunset, reading through every screenshot multiple times. Then I drove home. Derek was in the living room when I got back. Where were you? He asked. The lake house. His face softened. Oh. How was it? Clarifying, I said. I had an interesting conversation with Rachel today. He tensed. What did she want? To send me screenshots of the family planning group chat for the reunion. The one you've been part of for 3 months. The one where your mother openly discussed forcing me to host the reunion, whether I agreed or not. The one where you said you'd handle me. The color drained from Derek's face. Let me explain. You've been lying to me for 3 months. I wasn't lying. You told me you'd talk to your mother. You told me you had my back. You told me you understood I wasn't ready. And the whole time, you were in a group chat planning a party at my dead mother's house, discussing how to manipulate me into allowing it. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? I asked, my voice eerily calm. Explain it to me. Make me understand how you participated in this for 3 months and looked me in the eye every single day and pretended you were supporting me. Derek opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. They're my family, he finally said, like it explained everything. And I'm your wife. I'm supposed to be your family. You are, but what? But your wife's grief is inconvenient? But 3 months is long enough to mourn? But your mother's party plans are more important than my mother's memory? That's not fair. None of this is fair, I shouted. My mother is dead. I held her hand while she died. I cleaned her body after. I planned her funeral. I scattered her ashes. And while I was drowning in grief, your family was planning a pool party at her house, and you were helping them. I thought it would help you heal. Don't you dare, I said, my voice going quiet and dangerous. Don't you dare pretend this was for my benefit. This was about your family getting what they wanted. This was about not disappointing your mother. This was about you being too much of a coward to stand up to them, so you betrayed me instead. I love you. Do you? Because I don't think you do. I think you love the idea of me. The version of me that's easy and agreeable and doesn't make waves with your family. But that's not who I am. And that's not who I'm going to be. I walked past him to our bedroom and started packing a bag. Derek followed me. What are you doing? Leaving. Where are you going? The lake house. My lake house. The one place I know I won't be ambushed or manipulated or lied to. We need to talk about this. We needed to talk about this 3 months ago. Before you joined that group chat. Before you told your mother you'd handle me. Before you decided your family's wants were more important than my needs. I made a mistake. You made a choice, I corrected him. Every day for 3 months, you made a choice. You chose them over me. Over and over and over. I zipped my suitcase and looked at him one final time. I'll be in touch through my lawyer about next steps, I said. Your lawyer? Are you talking about divorce? I'm talking about protecting myself from people who see me as an obstacle instead of a person. Your family. And apparently you. I left. I've been living at the lake house for 2 weeks now. Derek has called 137 times. I've answered twice, both times to tell him to stop calling. His family has been quieter. After Rachel sent me those screenshots, I forwarded them to everyone on the reunion invite list with a simple message. This is what the planning committee really thought about me and my grief. The response was mixed. Some people apologized. Some people doubled down, saying I was vindictive for exposing private conversations. Some people, bless them, called Patricia out directly and said they wouldn't have attended if they'd known the truth. Patricia's book club found out. Her church group found out. Her tennis friends found out. Apparently, being exposed as the kind of person who plans parties at a grieving woman's dead mother's house without permission isn't a good look in polite society. Derek's sister Melissa called me once, crying, saying she hadn't realized how bad it was, that she'd gotten caught up in the excitement and hadn't thought about how cruel it was. I appreciated the apology. I didn't accept it. Tom's wife filed for divorce last week. Apparently, the screenshots revealed he'd made some pretty nasty comments about me, and when she confronted him about it, he said things she couldn't forgive. That wasn't my intention, but I also don't feel guilty about it. Derek finally sent me an email instead of calling. I know I messed up. I know I betrayed you. I was wrong to participate in that group chat. I was wrong to prioritize my mother's feelings over yours. I was wrong to think I knew what you needed better than you did. I'm so sorry. But I love you. I want to fix this. I want to go to therapy. I want to do whatever it takes to earn your trust back. Please don't give up on us. I read it 3 times. Then I wrote back. Derek, I think you're sorry you got caught. I think you're sorry your family is facing social consequences. I think you're sorry that I'm not the easy, accommodating wife you thought you married. But I don't think you're sorry for what you actually did. Because if you were truly sorry, you would have told me about that group chat the first time you joined it. You would have defended me in those messages instead of agreeing to handle me. You would have chosen me over them, just once. You didn't. I don't know if we can fix this. I don't know if I want to try. Right now, I need to be here, in my mother's house, healing in the way I should have been allowed to heal from the beginning. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. Until then, please respect my space. I haven't heard from him since. Rachel came to visit last week. She brought wine and takeout and sat on the dock with me while the sun set over the lake. You doing okay? She asked. I don't know, I said honestly. Some days are better than others. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. All of it. Your family hates me. Some of them. But some of them are starting to realize they were wrong. Change is slow in families like ours. But it's happening. We sat in comfortable silence for a while. My mom died 3 years ago, Rachel said quietly. And I still have days where I can't breathe from missing her. There's no timeline for grief. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Thank you, I whispered. She squeezed my hand. Your mom would be proud of you. For protecting this place. For protecting yourself. After she left, I went inside and found the box of letters Mom had written me over the years. Birthday cards, graduation notes, random Tuesday messages left on my bathroom mirror when I was a teenager. I found one for my 16th birthday. My darling girl, never let anyone make you smaller to fit their comfort. Your feelings are valid. Your boundaries are necessary. Your worth is not negotiable. Stand firm in who you are always. Love, Mom. I hung it on the refrigerator. It's been 3 months since the reunion that never happened. The divorce papers were filed last week. Derek contested them initially, but after a month of therapy sessions where he kept saying things like, I was just trying to help and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, I knew we were done. You can't fix a marriage when one person doesn't understand what they broke. I'm still living at the lake house. I've started painting again, something I gave up years ago. The walls are slowly filling with my art. Mom's house is becoming my house, in the way it always should have been. I joined a local grief support group. Turns out there are a lot of us, people navigating loss in a world that wants us to hurry up and get over it. We meet every Tuesday evening. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes we just sit in silence together. Maya, one of the women in the group, lost her father last year. She told me something last week that's been stuck in my head. Grief isn't something you get over, she said. It's something you learn to carry. Some days it's lighter. Some days it's heavier. But it never fully goes away. And that's okay. That weight is made of love. It means what you lost mattered. I've been carrying my mother's memory through the rooms of this house, learning its weight, letting it settle into something I can hold without breaking. Derek's family has mostly left me alone. Patricia sent me a card, with a generic apology that mentioned nothing specific and ended with, I hope we can move past this. I recycled it. Melissa sends me a text every few weeks. Small things. Thinking of you. Hope you're well. I don't respond, but I don't block her either. Maybe someday I'll be ready. Maybe not. Rachel still visits once a month. She's becoming a real friend, the kind I choose, not the kind I'm obligated to tolerate. We've started planning a small gathering for next summer, just a few women from my grief group and her closest friends. A celebration of mothers we've lost. A reclaiming of this space on my terms. Derek heard about it somehow. Sent me a message. So, you're allowing other people to use the house? Just not my family? I blocked his number after that. Some people will never understand. Some people aren't meant to. Yesterday, I scattered Mom's remaining ashes, the ones I'd kept in an urn, not ready to let go, from the end of the dock at sunset. I'm taking care of your house, Mom, I whispered as the ashes disappeared into the water. I'm filling it with love, just like you wanted. The right kind of love. The kind that respects and honors instead of taking and demanding. The wind picked up, rustling through the trees Mom had planted years ago. I sat on the dock until the stars came out, wrapped in one of Mom's old quilts, and for the first time in almost a year, I felt something that wasn't quite peace but was close. The lake house stands behind me, lights glowing warmly in the windows. Not the Parker Lake House. Not a venue for someone else's party. Not a prop in someone else's narrative about what my grief should look like. Just Linda's house. Now mine. Sacred ground. Some things are worth protecting, even when everyone else tells you you're wrong for doing it. Especially then.